Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everything else that exists ever, please welcome, take your seats, because this is the greatest podcast in history. We were awarded it at the Oscars 3 years ago, and we're holding on to that title. So I am your host that's underlined, S. Barkey, and I'm joined by my co-host, Taffy.
Is your chair squeaking?
No.
I think it is.
It
squeaked like 7 times during the intro.
That's the joke. It's a squeaky chair, and I squeaked, and I said no.
Okay.
Because I was sitting on it backwards, I think. I don't know.
Okay. It's very interesting. I don't know why you do that, but okay. It's cool, thank you.
What do you mean? It's the new thing. All the kids are doing it these days.
All the kids doing squeaking their chairs? It's cool, I guess.
Yeah, sure. It's the new hip trend, just like dabbing.
Yeah.
What do you think will be like? What's the last biggest trend been? What's the okay, well no, it's not really like. I'm saying bottle flipping, dabbing, those are trends.
We don't have any of those ever again.
I don't know, some of them are half decent.
I don't see how that is true at all.
Well, name what do you have? So you're saying no trends were good?
Most of them that come to mind aren't very good.
Well, do you have any that are good?
No.
No, so all the trends that you can think of are bad.
Yes.
What
aside
about
from Minecraft?
Gangnam Style?
That was awful.
It literally was. Was Psy the first ever K-pop star?
I'm not gonna ask that question. I think not.
Prove
I
it.
think so.
I mean, he's the
How
first.
am I supposed to prove this?
I think he was one of the first ones to be actually recognized.
Okay, sure. That's cool. Not that it matters. Can we talk about this asteroid that skimmed Earth?
I heard a little bit about it. I'm not sure it's true, right?
I don't know if it's true.
Define skimmed, because then using it in that context makes it seem like it kind of just bounced off.
According to express.co.uk, not the most trustworthy news source, written by Claire Anderson, an asteroid warning space rocket the size of the Great Pyramid of Giza to skim Earth.
Wait, so has that happened or has it not happened yet?
No, it's coming.
Oh, great. Well, everyone wants to
August 28th.
August 28th? Oh, cool. Yep. Everyone wants to die anyway, so.
Yeah, no, it's a space rock the size of the Great Pyramid of Giza.
Okay, can we get funding to launch a rocket into space to kind of knock the asteroid and just put it on path for Earth?
I don't think we have time.
What do you mean?
Well, we don't have the time.
Why not? What's stopping us? What's stopping us in terms of time?
We don't have the time to set up a rocket and then be able to calculate trajectories and run calculations to get to
have you seen the movie Apollo 13? They did all that space stuff in 3 days.
Didn't they do it over the span of months?
What? No, they.
Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of Martian.
Oh.
They had to do.
Yeah, no, the rocket wasn't gonna make it, so they had to find a way to get them back home safe.
I barely paid attention to that shows.
They spent I don't know, 6 days or something up there, and they nearly died.
How did they even get back? They had to make their own.
They had to go around the moon, and they had to
Yeah, right. They had to slingshot themselves around the moon, and they were gonna die from carbon dioxide poisoning.
And then they had to make a vent. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well.
And then I think they just got lucky on the re-entry.
Yeah.
And also
yeah.
isn't there like a 3-minute window? There's like the 3-minute window when they're in the atmosphere that they have no contact. And I think they were in that area for like 4 minutes and 19 seconds.
Yeah, they were
Which is
off target
so
that day.
sad, because it literally would have been the cherry on top if they had no contact for 420.
Didn't like part of the heat shield explode or something? So there was like no way they could have.
They could have
part of
what?
the heat shield not explode?
Oh, that was the reason of the whole thing.
Yeah, right.
Wasn't
So
it?
something exploded because like oxygen and stuff didn't go through properly, and
There was
boom, space no
there was a
good.
leak or something.
Yeah, like slingshot around moon, carbon dioxide poisoning thing, re-entry almost burned up, and then like slammed into the ocean. Right, that was it.
Yeah.
That was cool.
I mean, yeah, I would have loved it if they just kind of burned up on re-entry.
Kinda, yeah.
Like
They
this
just
amazing
exploded,
story of defying the odds and staying alive in space for 6 days when they weren't meant to. And then they just get like a fraction of the angle wrong and they just burn to a crisp.
Yeah. That would have been pretty funny.
Disney wouldn't have the guts to do something like that.
Probably not.
Who made the movie? It wasn't Disney, was it? It was like,
I don't know.
I think it was like Universal or something. Because it was pretty old. Like,
Yeah, well, it was based off a true story.
oh yeah,
This is
oh
so
really? I
complicated,
had
so-
no idea. But obviously a lot of it's
That's
like
cool.
fabricated.
Was it?
I think some of
can't
it.
tell. Sure, makes sense, I guess.
Bro, because otherwise it's, hey, here's what they did in space, but a movie. Like,
Fair enough.
that's why, like,
Yeah.
books, like, movie adaptations on books have to at least have some stuff different. Because otherwise like, it's predictable.
Right. Did I spoil Martian on this already?
Like, on, like, in this, like, podcast or, like, this episode?
In this podcast.
Podcast? I don't know. Probably not. I think you might
Okay.
have, but...
Wait, have you seen Martian?
No.
Oh wow, you're disappointed. You should go see Martian. It's a really good.
Honestly, I don't care about, like, spoilers, though, because I watched, Endgame spoiled, and it would still, like, hit about 80% of, like... It didn't take away from anything. It was still, like, really good.
Fair enough. Yeah. Okay, well then,
Like, yeah, I walked
spoilers
into that
for the
theater
Martian.
fully knowing that Batman was gonna die. And that,
Yeah,
like...
obviously, like Lightning McQueen was gonna dust off, bro. Clearly.
I mean, but that end scene did really still, like... That was still quite emotional.
Yeah. It was a really good. You get a Knuckles cameo.
Oh, yeah, that was, like, the icing on the cake. I'm so glad they put that in instead of the Stan Lee cameo.
Yeah, like Stan Lee can just.
He can go
he's not
die.
relevant. He's not relevant. That was too far.
Too soon.
Too far for Stan Lee. Too soon. Anyhow.
Stan Lee had a cameo in Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Wait, what?
Yeah. It was like, because they were going through like the Disney stuff, which was basically like, hey, look at all the stuff we own. And like Ralph or Vanellope Von like Sugar or something. Vanellope like bumped past him. And there was a movie detail which was in the background. There was an illuminated 3000.
Honestly,
And Endgame wasn't going to come out for another like 6 months.
that's pretty cool.
So, yeah.
Well, that's good Easter eggs.
Yeah, I mean, like, you don't realize until you go through Easter eggs how much like actual thought goes into every single shot of movies.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Especially with like 2D animation. because like
Right.
I think I saw a comparison with the two Lion Kings. Like with the Lion King, with the remaster, you just make a 3D plane, put the textures in, and then you kind of just put where you want the camera to be. But with the 2D one, you would like hands draw every single like frame.
That's why animated so such a work of art.
And like if you showed the new Lion King to like someone 80 years ago, or how long was it since it came out? Like
I don't know. I didn't watch the original Lion King.
I don't know, but it's like they'd be like, "Oh my god, that's like literally photorealistic. You can't tell me that that's not real." But like having it animated and 2D like means it conveys so much more like emotion. Like there was a point that you would be able to watch the first Lion King without audio and you'd still have the same story. You'd still understand it. But with this one, like you can't have as much emotion because it's based on like real stuff. So
yeah. Well, I haven't seen either, so I don't really know.
Have you not seen The Lion King?
No.
What do you mean?
I haven't seen a lot of popular movies.
Okay, name popular movies you haven't seen, and I'll just bully you.
I don't know. I haven't seen.
Oh my gosh.
I haven't seen Monsters.
You haven't what?
Yeah, I've seen Monsters Inc.
Monsters Inc. Monsters Inc. is a good like. I haven't seen. Oh my god! Why is my sorry viewers getting
dying?
Yeah.
Right.
I have never gone on Do Not Disturb for Discord. I don't know why. It's like the first.
Do Not Disturb is just like such a bad thing for someone to do.
A bad thing?
Do Not Disturb is just like annoying.
What do you mean?
I don't understand the people that like go into Do Not Disturb and just shut off all connection from the entire world. Like it's, you know.
I don't get that either. I haven't seen anyone who's done that really.
I've seen some people.
Really?
Who just like all out like everything. Just Do Not Disturb. They've turned off their phone. Like they've muted every way to contact them, and it's really annoying.
Huh. I mean, I would put like Do Not Disturb on, but like not just like no contact for anything.
Okay, hold on.
Okie dokie, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up the shortest ever episode.
That was very nice.
Oh, okay. What the actual hell like happened?
It was actually they called the chat and I wasn't on.
Oh, how loser.
Yeah, I understand putting too much time now.
Yeah, I mean, although my my Discord thing is like 8 notification number thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That just gives me like anxiety. Okay, you have like on anything like notifications, kind of, but like messages. Like if I have a number that I could get rid of, I'll do it because it just I don't know.
Yeah. Well, can we talk about broken school system?
Yeah, sure. As long as you like
Okay.
have like actual stuff to talk about, not just like school. Am I right, kids?
Okay, so the thing with school, right, is that it's based off a ranking system. That's how they make the new classes to accelerate learning for those that have excelled previously. Oh my god! Give me a second. Just solo.
Well, I guess I'm going to have to solo this. Well, welcome to Sparky's weekly chat with you guys. How have you been doing? This is the part where you respond.
Good
I want you to
response.
actually.
10 out of 10.
Oh, okay, you're back. I was just
Yeah.
asking.
Okay. So
Okay.
continuing on. So school has a ranking system, right? And that alone is. Oh my! Are you serious? This isn't fun. Recording a podcast isn't fun. It started as a good idea, right? Not a good idea. Don't record a podcast with people.
Yep, that's our number one tip to aspiring podcasters. Don't.
Yeah, don't do it. It's not a good idea. Not a good time investment. Just don't. You'll be so much happier if you just didn't ever make a podcast.
But hey, without the podcast, I wouldn't have regular uploads. I just want to say though,
yeah,
that's a
true.
lie, because I have about 4 videos lined up that I can just upload whenever I want.
Then do it.
No.
You won't.
I've got to space it out. I upload in slow weeks.
Okay.
If a
that's fair.
podcast has got barely any views, and bang, a lit meme that everyone will love.
Yes.
But school system, go. You were saying?
Right. So, the ranking system. You know how it works, and frankly, I think it's flawed that way because school started as a place for people to learn, so that it could further progress society with a bunch of bright minds that chose to join the workforce and.
Essentially you're being taught how to do well in tests and assignments.
Yeah, right now, school has evolved to be a competitive area where people spend their life studying and remembering temporary knowledge, temporary.
Wait, when you're saying right now,
subjects.
do you mean just 2019 or high school at this point?
Just in the past decade.
Oh, okay.
School has evolved to be a competitive place where people spend their life away studying and retaining very they temporarily retain information for the sole purpose of passing a test and then just dropping it forever.
I mean, but
not
you're
learning anything.
People stressed about school before.
Yeah, and it's only that stress comes from that stress comes from the fact that school is so competitive.
Well, it's so important now. If you don't have any form of education, you're not getting a job. You will literally not be in this world.
You need education up to high school, so you need to graduate high school.
And even then you'll struggle for even just a hospitality job.
Right. So necessary for job is graduating from high school. That's understandable, but the society's starting to lean to a point where job a university degree isn't necessary for a job anymore. Smarter employers have started to realize that they should hire people based on their demonstration of hard skills and stuff that they've learned, rather than very specialized things. So instead of looking at numbers, they choose now the employers. They choose to look at actual skills, which is taking. I had a sentence ready, but I can't exactly.
Yeah,
basically, it's making degrees worth less, which is it's making it harder for students to choose whether to spend that 4 years in university to get a degree, or to to spend those 4 years trying for a job. Either way could work, but then again, either way could completely fail. So
then what would be the best option, do you think?
The best option? I've got no clue right now. if you're pursuing a subject in university that you're not at all passionate in, and you don't already have a plan set out for the second that you leave, then it's not worth it. Don't even bother. Like, just drop out of university. Don't waste the money. Don't waste the time, and go for a job that requires, not necessarily.
So yeah, if it's not making you happy, just like.
If it doesn't show a guaranteed path, it's better to drop out and take a chance with like TAFE or whatever. But if you are confident in your subject, if you do enjoy what you do in university, and if you do have a relatively clear idea of where you want to go past that, then I'd say that it's probably advised for you to stay on that path. But then that plunges you into like crippling debt.
Yeah.
Which you have to be forced to pay off. It's not
like,
fun.
You like, just to get like a simple like bachelor degree, you need to study about 30 to 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
Which is
That's
insane.
Essentially job hours.
Yeah.
That you're spending studying for something that you have no guarantee of. For a job that you don't have a guarantee of. So, both ways are a gamble. Adulthood is just based entirely on luck and stuff.
Yeah, I saw like a shower thought or something, which is our entire lives depend on our choices when we're like at our worst.
Yeah.
And like make the worst choices.
Some like this also shows a lot about how much parenting is worth. If you don't have good and supportive parents that help you throughout your childhood, and they don't set you on the right path in childhood, you might as well, like, you're essentially screwed. So that's why having supportive parents is so useful. And if you start to realize that you may not be getting the support that you need, that you have to start realizing stuff like that. So from a very young age already, your entire life is in your hands, and you have to figure out what you want to do for yourself. But most people don't realize that, and that's how society can like kind of die. It's human relations are essentially the core of everything, and if the second people start to like lie and cheat and start to be greedy, like that's when society starts going downhill.
I mean, that's just like capitalism, I guess, a bit of it.
Right. Yeah.
Like you'll do whatever you can to climb to the top.
Yeah. Nothing is perfect in this world. Like, democracy isn't perfect. Our economy, like our economical systems,
yes, like
isn't perfect.
You've got like, there's currently like hundreds of thousands of people like protesting in Hong Kong right now for democracy.
I haven't heard of this, but yeah.
And like so many people are being injured by like the police. Hang on, wait.
Right, yeah. Some countries are still just completely in the wrong.
Hong Kong protests, airport flights cancelled as horrifying photos emerge.
Oh, goodness.
Let's see. Hong Kong hit by more violence as protests enter 10th week. Yikes.
Oh, yeah.
Police ramp up force as Hong Kong is rocked by more protest violence. Yeah. Our entire world is gonna die.
Yeah. We should just get that meteorite, that asteroid, and finish it off now.
Like, Earth was fine for billions of years. But then, like, the couple thousand that we come along, we ruin the earth. We don't trust anyone. And then, like...
Yeah, humans have become too soft. They're very good.
This is what happens when you give a whole bunch of, like, apes nuclear weapons.
Yeah. I wondered today about war crimes and stuff, and what happens when you commit a war crime. What happens to a country that commits a war crime?
Not good.
Apparently they're like tried by like a like the allied forces. I don't know. I don't know what happens, but I just imagine that they get like nuked by a different country or something. I don't know.
Wait, so you're saying if like a country commits a war crime,
Yeah,
they can be nuked by like everyone?
I don't know how it works. I don't know what the punishment is for a war crime.
Well, define a war crime then.
Well, a war crime is like a set of rules. Okay, hold up. I need you to solve.
Store? Do you want me to carry the podcast?
I'm just a bit sick, so I have to like mute myself in a car.
Okay.
A war crime is a set of rules made for war, and generally there are rules like you're not able to use weapons that can cause mass amounts of damage with little to no risk, or are just inhumane ways of killing people. So, big example is stuff like which is a war crime.